Hello and welcome to a new video, and today we are looking at teams at the Premier League and match week 28 to match week 30. The two games that we have got outstanding are Aston Villa versus Sheffield United and Manchester City versus Arsenal. So the first game we'll do is Aston Villa versus Sheffield United. Crucial to see how it all goes, as it is the first game in the Premier League behind closed doors. Aston Villa are sitting down in 19th, while Sheffield United are sitting comfortably in 7th in a nice European spot automatically for the Europa League, as Manchester City don't have Europe. Our next game, Sheffield, they've got a decent squad. Signings like Van der Berg, Lise Mousset, David McGoldrick. Hopefully they'll be influential for when they do go in for some big play for Europe and show the rest of the league and Europa League what they are like, whilst Aston Villa have a team that many should actually be in a better club like Sheffield or Wolves. Jack Grealish should not be playing Championship football every single season. He should be in a Premier League club. So for this game I'm going to say Aston Villa 0, Sheffield United 2. So our next game is Manchester City versus Arsenal. This is a big game as it is at the Etihad, and it is the biggest game of the week before the weekend. I think Arsenal are going to send out a squad that will hopefully get them a point and save them another season of Europe, whilst Manchester City, whatever happens, they're not playing Europe next season. Will that be overturned because of this coronavirus? Definitely not, because they were crumbling out of the Champions League anyway this season before their game got postponed, compared to the Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid game got carried ahead. So I don't know why it couldn't go ahead, but it was a week later. But coronavirus has changed a lot of things here. So I would say the score will be Man City 1, Arsenal 0. Our next game is Norwich City versus Southampton. Norwich sitting comfortably in 20th position on 21 points, while Southampton are sitting in 14th position on 34 points. So their position could change depending on results. A bit like West Ham, Watford, Bournemouth and Brighton. Anyone below them, including Newcastle, could all get relegated at this moment in time. So could Everton. But I can't see 12 being a problem. So Norwich have a decent squad. Todd Cantwell will probably stay at Norwich for a season and hopefully bring them back up to the Premier League, where they'll stay for a few more years. While Southampton have a squad that should be challenging for Europe every season. So I'm going to say Norwich 2, Southampton 2. Moving on to probably the biggest game of the weekend, Tottenham Hotspurs versus Manchester United. Tottenham 2, Man U 2. The reason why I think this is because both teams got a strong 11 with Kane, Son, Ali Bergwijn, Lo Celso, Lloris for Tottenham, and you've got Bruno, Pogba, Rashford, Lingard, and many others in that Man United squad that will hopefully carry and help Man U this season. That's the reason why it's going to be a draw. Coming into this game, the last win for Tottenham was back in February when they won against Aston Villa in the last minutes of the game. They haven't won a game since. They've also been knocked out of the FA Cup by Norwich City and to Europa League, the Champions League by Red Bull Leipzig. Man United, on the other hand, have won many of their games that they have played since January. Their last loss was to Burnley back in January. They've drawn. They've played in Europe. Their win before we broke up was to LASK in Austria, 5-0, and they also won 2-0 over Man City in the league before we finished. Overall, Man United are looking good and confident to finish in Champions League this year. They can hopefully keep this up and show the club what they're worth. Hopefully get a big cash injection in the transfer window, which probably will be shortened to a month. So I'm saying Man United 2, Tottenham 2. For that reason, Mourinho returning to Old Trafford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming down from Old Trafford with the lads against Mourinho, their former boss. Should be an interesting game. Now, moving on. Watford versus Leicester City. Now, Watford are sitting top of just above the relegation zone on 27 points. They're above Bournemouth, who are in last on 27 points. I got one goal. All this could change, depending on how it goes. They're also in tied goal difference with West Ham. Leicester City's last win of the season was against Aston Villa. They didn't win. They only got 2 points in the games before that. Watford's last win was against Liverpool in the 3-0 win. And they lost to Crystal Palace on the last game. They lost to Everton, who had 10 men. Draw to Brighton, lost to Tranmere, lost to Man United. Their next two fixtures after Leicester are Burnley. So this team here, we've got Islam Sarr, Troy Deeney, Gerard Deulofeu, Ben Foster, Andre Gray, Danny Welbeck and Abdoulaye Doucouré could also be found vital. For this game, I'm going Watford 0, Leicester City 3. Once again, it is behind closed doors like all these games, so I've got to take in consideration the percentage of a difference that is happening behind closed doors. Leicester City, the Foxes, 2016 champions, I'll remind you of that. Watford, don't know when they were last Premier League champions. Watford have the squad to be able to stay up for this season, which is the main thing. Saw that news article saying Liverpool's youngsters have a massive opportunity in the Premier League run, says that Mirror, pretty sure. So the next game, which we're going to go for, is Brighton versus Arsenal. Well, Brighton, if they lose, say, drop points, which is key for the 3 teams on the relegation zone here. That can mean that West Ham could go above if they win their fixture. Brighton have not won since December. They have either drawn or lost. That includes a loss to Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup. I don't know why they would have lost to Sheffield Wednesday, but it's happened. They drew to Chelsea in that 1-1 filler. The amazing goal from Jahanbakhsh on the 1st of January 2020. Instead, they've only got draws and losses, which is a surprise really, having all the bottom half clubs. I'm going to say Arsenal win 2-1 against Brighton. Moving on to our next game, I'm going to try and not be biased about it. It is West Ham United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. So this is at a big cage ground that can hold 60,000. Do I think that's going to have an effect on what happens? Probably. But is it going to be a major one? No. The London Stadium's all eerie. In the pre-season, West Ham won both of theirs. 4-1 against QPR and 2-1 against Crystal Palace. Haller scoring in both games. So here are our records of how the two clubs have done against each other on this site called b11.com. Link in the description. So West Ham have won more games against Wolves, and Wolves have lost quite a few. That shows West Ham are capable of doing it, but they don't show it. We scroll down the old league, Division 2, I'm guessing that's the old Championship. Division 1 is the old Premier League. Then we go all the way down to the modern day, where West Ham have not won in the last 3 games against Wolves. So, if any time to do that and beat that record is today. So, looking on, we're looking at them losses. Some of them have been vital losses, some of them have been in the Championship, some have been in the Prem. None of that has stopped us from where West Ham are today, and that's the same with Wolves. Wolves are one of the best sides in the league at the moment. Playing Europe at the same time is having not a big talk, because they're back in the European position again this year. Top of the European places, 5th place is Champions League. West Ham haven't won since they played Southampton. The last game we did before we braked was against Arsenal, where we lost 1-0 to Nicolas Pepe scoring a fluky goal. Both times we played Crystal Palace, we've lost 2-1, both late goals by Andre Ayew. Should have won against Liverpool, but we didn't. Just looking at that, Finalzi and Issa Diop, 1 point. Goals from Mane, Salah. Who else scored? Mane, Salah, Genie. We have had some close games. Looking at the next few games, Tottenham, Chelsea, they should be able to do that. Therefore, I'm saying West Ham United 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. So, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, I'm saying Bournemouth 2, Crystal Palace 3. Newcastle, Sheffield United. Newcastle 1, Sheffield United 2. Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 2. Now, it's the one you've all been waiting for, the Merseyside derby. Well, Liverpool, Everton, 2 clubs across the park pretty much. What else can we really say except from we're in for a thriller. The referee was confirmed earlier as Mike Dean, so hopefully he doesn't give out too many cards. Liverpool being top of the league will hopefully they win this, and City lost which they haven't if they happen in real life. If they have in real life, that means Liverpool are champion. Well, they broke up. Last win against Bournemouth, and their last loss was against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League after extra time. Watford was the first Premier League side this season to defeat Liverpool 3-0. Two goals for Islam Isar and Troy Deeney. Everton in the build-up to prove this. They've been winning when they can. Not all of them have been good wins. Some have been dodgy. But guess what? They're 3 points at the end of the day. This was back in January when they played Liverpool. Pretty much they're under 18s. They lost 1-0. That's a game they should have won with Richarlison in goal. Not in goal, outfield. KJ Hoover has the best name. Don't know how to say his first name. Kelleher's a decent one. Kloppy is doing his best. Curtis Jones doing what Curtis Jones does, really. So they did lose to Norwich back then. Then the second Merseyside derby at Liverpool versus Everton. Everton should have made it fair enough. Once again, they had Adrian in goal because Alisson wasn't somewhat. They had Kelleher on the bench. The goals were Gini, Sadio Mane, Divock Origi, and Shaqiri. I know I say Mane weird. It's the way I like to say his full name. Sadio Mane. One of the best players in the world, no doubt, but he's ruthless when it comes to it. Two best swing backs for Liverpool. They're going to keep their assists going between Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson. So the next one is, so that game will be 3-1 Liverpool. The next game is Manchester City versus Burnley. Saying Man City 4, Burnley 2. Looking at the tennis, okay. So now moving on to the Premier League prediction table. This is site, I'll leave their link in the description. So I'll just fill in the scores quickly from match week 28. Calculate results by calculating the table. On here you can also look at teams, their results, stats, different teams within that club, the leagues. As you can see, you've got the goal difference. Now we're just gonna fill in this bit for about a minute. So I want to say thank you once again, and please subscribe if you're new, like this video, share, and just don't take the mick out of my voice generally. You get an idea of what I'm doing nice and quickly here. Once again, thank you and goodbye.